Some of y'all are going to be very upset when you find out that no tax on overtime, no tax on tips is not a refund, and it's just a deduction. That does not mean that you're going to get that money back. That's just going to allow you to drop into a lower tax bracket if you meet the requirements and if you actually do drop into a lower tax bracket. But also, I don't want you to forget that when you calculate your overtime money to see if you meet those requirements, the first 1.0 is still going to be federally taxed. They're only calculating the 0.5 and above. And Republicans, don't worry, because there's going to be some Democrats that find this out also, and they're going to be upset as well, because they're going to be like, wow, you guys literally sold your soul for nothing. You sold your soul to the billionaire class to be taken advantage of and duped once again.
Well, you got your no tax on overtime in the bill, just as they said you would get. But it's not quite what you thought, Skippy, so be patient. If you're thinking your paycheck's going to reflect that, you're wrong. What's going to happen is at the end of the year, you will be able to give a credit to yourself of up to $12,500 of money earned, which means the overtime tax paid on up to $12,500 of earnings, therefore about $3,000, as a tax write-off at the end of the year. And that's how you take it. So it's not going to impact your paycheck. It's only going to be as you write it off at the end of the year. And if you do standard itemization, guess what? You lose it completely because it doesn't count. And guess what? Even though the corporate tax rate of 14% reduction in corporate tax rates are set forever, as was done in a previous bill, set forever, the personal changes only last for 3 years. So in 2028, this goes away. So even if you don't use it, or you use it and don't get much from it, don't worry. You're going to get that taken away in 2028 because you're not a corporation. You don't get that same benefit. And even more importantly, the corporations, as I said, got 14%. This little deviation could, and all the deviations in the tax bill, will come up to about 2.4% for you. And again, yours goes away in 2028. But the corporations, no, they stay. Ain't you loving that big, beautiful, stupid ass bill?
What's up, YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So, no taxes on overtime. So, yes, you know that situation whereby you're working extra hours, expecting that all that money that you worked for, all those hours that you work for, all that money goes to you, because eventually that's what you're expecting. I mean, like, you can tax the rest of my salary, but what I worked in terms of overtime was an agreement between me and my employer. So how come does the federal government have to tax me in terms of the money that I worked so hard for? So that is where most Americans are at, whereby therefore, since Trump implemented this beautiful bill, therefore that they will be getting a major tax cut, or as Trump promised, no taxes on overtime totally. But eventually, people did not get that, so they are angry. So let's check out these videos to hear from them how they feel about this. So let's check these videos out.
No tax on overtime. Promises made and promises not kept. I work in the oil field and I pay $40,000 a year in overtime taxes. Most of my income comes from overtime. And whenever I was made the promise that I would not have to pay taxes on the overtime anymore, I believed in it. I looked forward to it. I believed in the big, beautiful bill. And then finally, that bill goes through the Senate, goes through the House, and yesterday on 4th of July, that bill is official, it passes. And then I start looking into it and I come to realize that out of the $40,000 that I'm paying a year, I'm only eligible to get $7,500 back. Not the entire 100% that I paid into. It's like having a pizza. Let's say I made a pizza and it's mine, and the government's telling me, okay dude, you worked hard, that's your pizza. And then they decide to cut it into 5 equal slices and tell me, actually you get to keep this one slice and we're gonna take the other 4, even though they promised that I was gonna get the whole thing. I am extremely disappointed, and promises were made, but promises were not kept.
So the big, beautiful bill did pass today, and I just feel a little misled. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I was under the impression there was going to be no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, which would be huge for the middle class, right? But after reviewing what actually did pass today, there's a cap on all of that. And you don't get this deduction until you file your taxes. Okay, so your paycheck will not change. You're still gonna get the same taxation, all right, throughout the year. And then when you go to file your taxes, for overtime, you get $12,500 deduction, which if you work in the overtime world, you know that's not much. That's not much at all. These guys and women kill themselves for this overtime, and they get taxed heavily. Believe me, I'm married to one. It's rough. Now, no tax on tips, $25,000 cap. I think that's pretty good. I'm not too angry about that. Social Security, $6,000, which I think is extremely low. But anyways, regardless, what are your thoughts? I thought it was going to be on all of it. Federally, anyways. I know that state, like I live in California, I was going to get bent over regardless. But I don't know. I was definitely hoping for a little bit more tax relief for the middle class. I am not being ungrateful. I'm happy that we get any sort of help at all with this, but I feel misled. What do you think?
Okay, guys, add on the comment section down below on your thoughts of, did you get any benefit in terms of this tax bracket, or are they still taking that much from your salary? And is there a difference to what they promised? But despite that, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and let's meet up to the next video, and peace out.